Hey guys, I got a brand new digital art store, or whatever it's called Artzii Inkk Digix. That is now up. Currently, we got a little bit of variety of a lot of my art up there. I don't have absolutely everything, but there's not really anything like mugs or anything like that. It's just digital products. If you're interested in any of that, go ahead and click the first link down below, and yeah, enjoy the video.
Hey guys, my name is Solarsammy, and today we're doing book reviews. You guys asked for it, so I'm doing it. This is not going to include Harry Potter or FNAF, both of which I have read. Not all of though, but I have read the entire trilogy of the, original FNAF books. And I think I'm in the middle of the 5th book of Harry Potter? Yeah, so let's get right into it! So this was an interesting book, just in general, because it focuses on, not really the lives of anyone. It's more of the conversations between two people across, like, the internet alone. It's so interesting. And then it switches to, like, notebooks and, like, notes and things. This is Jennifer by Hannah Moskowitz and Kate Helgeson, however you pronounce that. Yeah, so this basically focuses on Jenna and Finn. Finn, surprisingly, is short for Stephanie. Interesting, but okay. So it starts off just like on a blog or something about a show that they both like, I guess. And it goes deeper in detail about like their personal relationships. It's like texts and emails between Genevieve and Stephanie, between their like between their friends, between their parents, between like colleges and things. So Jenna is canonly 18 and Finn is like 21 or like 25 or something. Not a weird age gap, surprisingly, if you're an adult. Although I wouldn't go for an 18-year-old, and I'm 21, so. Or, well, not exactly 21 by the time this video comes out. I turned 21 in August, so. So they're online, things. Jenna is Even If, and Finn is Finn Blue Line. So there's many of these interactions between them and other people under those names. And they're mostly discussing the show that they like, or it's like describing the show. They're making like fan fiction and whatnot. They're making like art and stuff. And then I think Jenna and Finn meet on a site like dedicated to it, like in the fandom. They become friends and basically like just start relying on each other. As we can gather from these online interactions, because it never switches to one person's perspective until the end, where it's not even from anyone's perspective. It's just like handwriting or like a note from them to one person or another. But you can basically conclude like what happens. So at this point, Jenna and Finn either are looking to move in together or are moved in together. And I don't remember if they're in a relationship or not, or if they're just like becoming close friends. But I remember there's one time that Finn looked up, is it weird to be interested in someone who's like 3 or something years younger than you? On Google. And I would say as long as it's legal and you're both mature and whatnot, I don't think so. If you're both over 18 and mentally mature, I don't think it's wrong. Like, again, I personally wouldn't get with an 18-year-old, but hey. Yeah. This is an interesting book to read because it's a lot like those, like diary books, like, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, or, like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, or, Dork Diaries. Although that's mostly the protagonist writing down what happened and their thoughts and feelings on it and like how it impacted them. Here we don't get any of that. It's literally like going through someone's search history or like going through someone's messages, not getting any context to anything going on and having to connect the dots yourself. Yeah. What I find interesting though is in here, and it says the title and then the authors is Even If and Finn Blueline. So I'm wondering if this was a real conversation thing that happened between these two that they turned into fiction, because that does happen. I've done that before and then added on to fiction to take out grievances. Or just frustrations and things. I know they say it's a work of fiction, but you never know. Could be based on whatever. Or it actually is just fiction, just inspired by, hey, what if this? You know. But yeah, a friendship blossoms basically between these two, and I think they have like a friend group or whatever together with like a few other people. And then at some point, I remember significantly, like at the end or something, Jenna is in like this set fire or something because she was invited or like is on the set of one of these show things. I don't know. She's on a set, it catches fire. She's rushed to the hospital. They don't know if she's gonna make it. Finn is there. I don't know if they were invited because like they were in her contacts or whatnot, but they're there at the hospital, and they're writing notes down to Jenna and just like in general about like a diary or something. Like it works kind of like a diary. And she's mostly telling Jenna like what happened, I guess, and she's kind of lamenting, it seems like. It's like their time together, like just wanting her to be okay and pull through. And eventually she does, and don't really remember what happens after that, but they both respond to something online eventually, so she's okay. I think it ends happily, I'm not sure, because literally the last post is on her online journal, Jenna's online journal, about the show, and they're just responding to comments. So I'm guessing that everything turned out okay. I would definitely recommend it. It's definitely an interesting book. It definitely inspired me for writing a lot of the rest of Scatterheart's with the texts and things between Willow and Orion, and some of the interactions between Willow and some other characters later on. Yeah, so it's not really much to grade on here, but story overall is 100% interesting. 100 out of 100. Characters, there's not really characters in here you can grade off of. Concept, 10 out of 10. The originality of it, I've never seen another book like this. I'd say 200 out of 10. Amazing. Although one flaw I would say is, I don't know how much you'd get a grade for it in an English class. Your teacher would probably be pissed. I personally don't care. The style is amazing. But I don't know. I think the part, like, it just kind of throws you in. Like, you know, you're just going through random text or, like, old texts, and you don't know what it's about. That 100% both does and doesn't immerse you, which is interesting. So I'm gonna say 50 out of 10. I think the fact that you can make it actually about something without specifying what it's about, mwah, chef's kiss. 100 out of 10. Don't know what that number is yet because I'm not doing the calculations in my head, but editor, that is the review number right there. Blow it up. 100% recommend. Anyways, next book. I think I'm only gonna do 2 books per video, just depending on how long the book is, and the fact that it's now been 12 minutes and you've seen how big that book is, and this book is not much bigger. So, yeah, and I got like 5 books over there in a stack, so, yeah, so. This is Her Evil Twin. I know a book has a lot of love when you see indents and stuff from it, and you don't know where they're from. I don't know if you can see that on camera. Of course you can. It looks perfect on camera. Yeah, so this is Her Evil Twin by Mimi McCoy. This is in a series of Poison Apple books. I used to love this series. I don't know why I say used to. I would still read this series if I was back into reading, which I thought I was. So basically, Anna's new friend Emma is fearless, fashionable, and always up for a new adventure, but Emma is also a troublemaker. She sneaks off school grounds at lunch and borrows some spray paint from the art classroom. Emma never seems to get caught, but Anna does. After all, the girls look so much alike. Who could tell them apart? But when Emma's idea of fun takes a sinister turn, Anna starts to worry. Is her new BFF actually her evil twin? So, this happens when some bullies, I guess, make Anna either look or, like, be in this ritual in this, like, haunted, supposedly, girls' bathroom that's abandoned. And in this mirror, either she looks or, like, is forced to be next to or something. And this is Anna. This is Emma. So, Emma is her evil twin. So, it turns out that she's summoned from that ritual. And throughout the book, Anna's kind of not really sure what to think of Emma. because she just appears out of nowhere after that. And I think she's like in middle school or something, so like she wouldn't really like connect it in her head, like that's why that happened. But Emma starts out as like this cool friend, and I guess puts Emma in like Anna in this like weird situation, like she gets caught but Emma doesn't. Like there's no record of Emma even being in the school. And I remember the scene at the end. It's like Emma's like pulling Anna's best friend like into the bathroom or like into the mirror world or something. And I think they sent Emma back to the mirror world. And it's like, I don't know, I just remember this battle between them. But then again, I read this when I was like 9. I had to find this in a suitcase that I forgot this was even here. Like I thought I had like hallucinated it. Like that's not a real thing. Yeah, I remember more of the second book than this one, so. I don't know how my dumbass forgot to grade the last one, but since we're going off of what I did with Jennifer, because I don't know what logic I'm using with grading this, the story overall is meh. It's like a 5 out of 10. The concept, I guess, is original, but well, you know what? No, it's I don't know. I'm gonna have to skip that, actually. That's kind of with the same as concept and originality. The immersibility slash like relatability, that's more of not relatable. So 2 out of 10. Or no. Yeah. No, the first one was 5 out of 100. Then this is 2 out of 10. Then something out of nothing is more of a Jennifer thing, not this. Let's see. There's not really much to grade here. Aside from it being a poison apple book, which is most notably known for being like a short, scary, or like twisting story, whereas rotten apple books are like that, but on yeah, so I'm gonna have to say a 20 out of 100. And yeah, here we got 27 is the score. If I'm doing this correctly. Looks like we're doing 3 books this time. This is more of a comic book thing, but it's still a book nonetheless. So this is The Nightmare Before Christmas, The Battle for Pumpkin King. So years ago, Jack and Oogie Boogie were close friends, both eager to prove themselves. They poured all their passion in their fantastical projects, their rightful places, scariest duo in town. But there could only be one Pumpkin King. What could have happened to turn 2 best friends into such rivals? So it basically turns the entire lore of Nightmare Before Christmas on its head. So apparently Jack and Oogie Boogie and everyone else were kids. Which I think this was actually covered in a different video. I don't remember what, but there's like this old pumpkin guy who's actually the Pumpkin King when they're kids. And he's either dying or retiring or something, and holds this contest for the next Pumpkin King. And he already chose, like, in his head that he wants it to be Oogie Boogie. And at this time, Oogie and Jack are, like, best friends. They're like this. So he kind of pulls him aside and is like, you know what? I'm gonna, train you to be my heir. And that's only after Oogie kind of cheats already in the first contest, which is gathering pumpkins, and he kind of like stuffs them all in his mouth. Jack is just carrying like a bunch, and then he drops them all and then picks up all the pieces and makes one giant jack-o'-lantern, and Jack wins for creativity. So the challenge was to like not drop any of the pumpkins, but you know, sorry, there's also concept art at the end. It's just really cool. I'd like looking at again. Yeah, so after he's chosen basically by this old king, the king says like he's going to help him cheat, and kind of starts getting in Oogie's head, like, hey, you deserve to be the Pumpkin King. It's like, okay, yeah, I do. And there's like two more two more contests, both of which Oogie like fails at. The third, like he was even given help to cheat in, and the Pumpkin King is just like, man, you're a lost cause. But he tries to help him anyways and takes him down to his lair. The lair becomes Oogie's lair, and makes him drink bugs. That's where the bugs come from. And they kind of warp Oogie, and so he starts to cheat in his matches, and he still somehow loses to Jack, and like he just becomes so cocky during the cheating and whatnot, and just so like he just hates on Jack so much. So sad. And I'm probably explaining this chaotically, but during the second and third challenge, he was already being manipulated by the Pumpkin King person, and he was already getting like cocky. It only got worse when he drank the bugs. And then obviously he didn't win. The Pumpkin King kind of is upset at this, and I don't know if he exiles him or exiles himself back to the grave because he's dying, or if Oogie like banishes himself. But Jack gets crowned the new Pumpkin King, and Sally has a crush on Jack. Like she always has when they're kids. Yeah. So, aside from its continuity, 10 out of 10 story. But because it makes no sense with any of the established lore, I would not recommend it. But if you're interested just in general in like Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, or like extra content and whatnot, you're a collector, like just like seeing like concept art and stuff, yeah, I would recommend it for that. Story wise, nah. Story sucks. Because we already have it established, not only in the games, but the movie and the book, Pumpkin Queen, that this is clearly not what happens. It's like they're trying to write the story again, like write over what they already have, because Jack and Oogie meet twice, and one of them is when they're adults in the game that happens before the movie. Like, that's the first time they're meeting, is when they're adults. Then this is saying that they meet, like, sometime around when they're kids, and they're friends when they're kids. And Sally is there when they're kids, too. I mean, that part is more realistic, because in The Pumpkin Queen, she's kidnapped by Dr. Finkelstein, so she grows up here, that makes sense, but to make it canon with the game doesn't make sense, unless you say the game is not canon. Which, I don't know if they would, because is anything that happens in the games canon at all? Like, in general, because that also includes Kingdom Hearts. Because Nightmare Before Christmas is also in Kingdom Hearts. Is that canon? Because you have so many pieces of media that you consider canon or, like, by Disney. Which is canon? Are the books canon? Are the comics canon? Are the games canon to the movie? Or is nothing besides the movie canon? Because it all has the Disney branding. Because unless it's fan fiction, given the green light by Disney, and they put their branding on it, but it's not canon, say that. Like, although the books are now canon, it's like FNAF, like, grabbing stories and, like, things and, like, twisting things, like, from all corners of the canon into its own story that's not directly canon to the story, that's, like, the main focus, that's fine. Like, everyone does that. If it's an AU, say that. Because then that just confuses people. Like with RWBY. I don't know much about RWBY, but there's, like, two mangas. There's the RWBY mangas, and then there's the anthology mangas, which are in its own universe entirely, under the name RWBY. It's, like, the same concept in a different universe. Or, like, with, I don't think it was Miraculous. It was, like, something else anthology or whatever. It's, like, the same concept. Oh, no. Doki Doki. I learned what that was. It's kind of like anthology. It's like Glitter Force. Don't mind the name. It's a really cool show. It's an anime about, like, these girls who, have powers, you know, the normal stereotype of, like, powerful anime girls facing, like, demons or something, I don't know. So, Glitter Force Doki Doki is kind of like the anthology of that universe. It's like, what if this happened but to somebody else? Which I didn't understand at the time. I thought it was like a sequel or something. But, yeah, if this is like an anthology, say that. Like, Nightmare Before Christmas anthology, or Doki Doki, or, like, alternate universe, or something like that. Like, or, like, across the universes. Because otherwise it just confuses people. Or just say tales. Like, stories. Stories from the universe. That's not, you know, canon per se, but it could have happened. Not that it did, but it could have. Like, what if this happened? Or what? You could have just called it Nightmare Before Christmas What If this is not canon. Because it cannot possibly be canon if the games are canon. You can't have it both ways, Disney. Anyways, That's all I have for you guys today. My name's been Solarsammy. There's nobody really here, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!